Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 4 of the Sheesh Racing League here in the streets of Shanghai, China. We're just in the middle of the qualifying laps now. Starting the stream a little bit late. That's on me. So, right now, as it stands, Seabird91 has the fastest lap time with a time of 1:30.734. Behind him is Lutzi with a 1:30.9. Then the Kid, 1:30.95. Breed Likes Boys, 1:30.97. And then Gunslinger, 1:32.0. BFG, Cam M15, and Wild Die still have left, are still left to set a time. They're all in their laps at the moment. So, for now, let's just watch Lutzi for a second. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look down onto BFG, who is in his out lap and is currently in 6th. See what he's doing. So, once again, I'm going to be your host for tonight's stream for the day's race. Aiden Potty. No co-announcer today, unfortunately, so it's just going to be me again. The more I do it, the better I'll get, so just keep that in mind. Well, as we watch BFG go around the track a bit here, let's talk about the track. I took a few laps on this the other day, a little bit of a practice race just so I could get a feel for it. I like to do that. And I messed with a lot of my settings. So, I know last stream I said I had tried out Vietnam, I tried out that track, and it took me a while to get a good lap. But that was with basically all the assists on, that was with the default settings. So I took a few laps on this, with and without, and it's not too bad with the assist. Obviously, I'm new to racing, and especially to actually being the driver. So it's going to be hard for me anyway. But this track, it's not too bad. There's a few turns here and there, but there's really only one sharp turn, only one hairpin, and other than that, it's not that difficult of a track. And there you see in segment 3, as you can see on the right side of your screen, there's a big straight there, a long straight, and you pick up a lot of speed there. It'll give you a spot to turn your DRS on and gain some more speed. And just really get going, get your car warm, get your tires warm, which is what most of these guys will probably do during the formation lap. They probably burn it down that straight and get everything warmed up, ready to go. But during the race, it's going to be a good spot to make up any lost time you may have from being in a pit, or if you spin out a little bit or anything like that. It's a good spot to make up some time that you may have lost. So let's go. Let's switch this camera down onto Cam M15. BFG set a lap time already, and he's staying in 6th, 1:32.0. And we watch Cam M15 cross the line. He sets a 7th lap time, 1:33.5. So the only one left to set a lap time is right here, Wild Die 9. So let's just watch him as he comes around the second last and last turn. Or he's going to cross that line, set a time of his own, and see where he ends up. So he crosses, and he makes good time, 1:31.3. So he jumps all the way up into 5th, into P5. And so that's going to drop Gunslinger, BFG, and Cam all down one. Seaburton's still in P1 with his time of 1:30.7. Nobody's beaten it yet. But Lutzi's out. He's probably looking for it. He made a 1:30.9, so not far off the last time. Let's take a look at him. Why not? And see if he can. He's also just coming around that second last turn. So let's see if he can. Beat Seaburton's time. And the answer to that is no, he doesn't. to stay watching him for a little while. 7 minutes left, almost 8. Basically 8 really, 7:45 to be exact. Left in the qualifying lap. And then right after that we'll get right into the race. I'm Maiden Potty. This is the Sheesh Racing League Round 4 in the streets of Shanghai, China. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you just saw, the kid set the fastest lap time, 1:30.5. Bumps C. Burton down to P2. Everybody else bumps down a spot as well. Well, not everybody, just Lutzi and Reed, I believe. Maybe just Lucy. I think Reed was in 4 already. I'm not quite sure, but I know Wild Die, Gunslinger, and BFG are all where they were before, and Cam and 15 is retired from the session. He'll be back for the race. He's just letting his AI take over for now, I assume. Regardless, things have changed. Only 5 minutes left to go on qualifying laps. So C. Burton's back out on the track, and he's probably back out trying to regain what he thinks is rightfully his, and that is the fastest lap time heading into the race. The kid's still racing around. Maybe he's trying to beat his own time. Maybe he's just getting back around, gonna hit the pits. Who knows? And Reed is also out, and BFG is out. Other than that, everybody is in the pit except for Cam, who's retired. And Reed's probably gonna have to take another lap around here. He invalidated his lap somewhere along the line. You can see his map is red there. Let's go back up to C. Burton, who is just coming to the hairpin at the end of the long straight. Let's see if he can take that P1 spot back. He just comes around that final turn there. Not much of one though. And let's see, he crosses the line. And no can do. Still stuck in P2 with a time of 1:30.7. So the kid did hit the pits. He's happy with the time he made. So he'll probably just sitting there and rest up, clear his mind before the race. So we got a few guys out. See, everybody now except for the kid is out. I'll try to set better times, I think. And I believe it was BFG. I just saw him make a jump there. Gunslinger falls to 7. BFG goes up to 6. And everybody else remains in the same spot. So, as we watch C. Burton go around the track, I'm going to give your ears a rest from hearing my voice. I'm going to head on down to the TV pod so you can hear the car a bit better. And watch and see if Cole can set a better time here. Well, with 23 seconds left in qualifying laps, I'm just gonna talk to you guys a little bit about the standings because there's not much else I can do, to be honest, and I don't want to leave you guys here in silence while everything loads up and gets ready to go. So let me just hop on over to SheeshRacingLeague.com, which has everything you need to know about the Sheesh Racing League, including their standings. So that's SheeshRacingLeague.com. If you just want to head over there, you can see the race results from the last 3 races. You can check the standings. You can look at the league rulebook. You just want to contact. They have their schedule up. Lots of things to see at SheeshRacingLeague.com. If you want to ever hop on over and pay it a visit, it's a great spot for information. So, heading on over to the standings and comparing it to who's racing tonight. So you see Cam M15 there, who is in P8 now, but he is currently leading the standings with 47 points with the Red Bull Racing team. Behind him is Gunslinger with AlphaTauri, 46 points. Gunslinger is in P6, I believe. Didn't quite get a look at it there, but I'm pretty sure that's where he is. Or he get dropped down to P7. He is in P6, that's right. So those are your first two, and then coming in third and fourth, both with the BWT Racing point. And third is Reed Likes Boys with 44 points, and then his teammate Seabert 91 with 43 points. In fifth, he's not racing tonight, but is Slim Omnivore with the McLaren team, 19 points. In sixth, we have Lutzi, who is racing tonight, and is in P3, I'm fairly sure. So is Lutzi with the Mercedes team, 17 points. Behind him is Wild Eye with Williams. He has 14 points, and Wild Eye is in P6. P5. He's in P5 for this race. Then, in eighth, with the Haas F1 team, is the Kid, who has 10 points, and he is in P1 for this race, starting it off. In ninth, also with Mercedes, Lucy's teammate is BFG _A2, and he is in P7. 8 points. Then, in 10th, is Cam M15's teammate, Dunker, with the Red Bull Racing team, 6 points. He's not racing tonight. Then is Gerbs with the Haas team, F1 team, 4 points. Also not racing. And then in 12th and 13th are the members of the Ferrari team, who are T-Rex and July, and neither of them have any points yet. They haven't been in many races. So, I kind of went through the grid there as I named off the drivers and their points and who's leading. But while the formation lap happens, let's take a look at it again anyway. So it's there on the left side of your screen, and I'm going to go through it for you. So in P1, we have the Kid. In P2, Seabert 91. In P3 is Lutzi. P4, we have Reed Likes Boys. Behind him in P5 is Wild Die. And P6 is Gunslinger. P7, we have BFG. And P8, we have Cam M15. So that is your grid starting today's race off here in Shanghai, China. And while the formation lap happens, I already went through standings. I went through the grid. So, since there's not much else to do during a formation lap, I'm just going to head on down to the TV pod view of our leader, the Kid, and let you guys listen to the cars for a little while. And before I do, let me just say that Cam F15 was disqualified from the formation lap, so he's going to be sent right back to the grid. And he'll have to wait there until everybody else comes around, so he'll probably have fairly cold tires to start the race off, which isn't really something that you want to do. Regardless, let's go down to the track and the TV pod of the Kid. Alrighty. This race is just about to get underway. On come the Reds. Off go the Reds and off go our racers. And here we go. Round 4 of the Sheesh Racing League here in Shanghai, China. And off they go, and already a yellow flag on Sector 1 as a few people went off the track there. So let's just watch the kid for a minute or two here, while everybody kind of gets situated. Not going to really hone in on anybody yet, because everybody's kind of in close proximity of each other, while everyone fights for position. Actually, let's head on down to BFG, who's getting awfully close to Gunslinger. But again, to be fair, everybody's kind of close. So, I'll take it on back to our leader, the kid. Just watch him for a bit. So everybody is just kind of making their way through that turn, heading into the long straight, where anybody with soft tires is going to have an advantage because they're going to be able to pick up a bit more speed than anybody on mediums. So just around the final turn, crossing the line, and already into lap 3. Everybody's kind of jumping around here. Relax Boys is being shown in P4. I know he's in the back of the pack. I'm not sure how that works, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think the good was just trying to confuse me. We're back to it now. Let's head on down to BFG, who's still hot on Gunslinger's trail. Actually, let's go back to Wild Eye, who's hot behind BFG, and may be able to pass him if he can get a little bit of luck coming into the turns here. And BFG is just kind of taking off on him in the long straight. Not much happening there. We can see if anything happens on the turn, if it gets a little squirrely. Nope. Everybody seems to take it well. BFG maybe goes a little wide, but not really. Doesn't go off the track. Keeps it going. And it's going to be that. Everybody's just kind of in where they're going to be. We can hop on back to Lucy, though, because he's gaining on Cam M15. So you might see some bit of battling here. And depends on how they take their turns. He's gaining on them. Cam M15, that is. And not quite enough. They are coming up in some turns here. Cam M15 makes a mistake, or if Lutzi can just time his braking right and manage to get in there. Well, enough about that. Let's hop on up to P2, see Burton. There's some exciting stuff going on up here. He's trying to get into first position. So who cares about the guys back there, eh? You guys want to see what's going on up front? We'll show you. So Cole Burton, C Burton 91 is working on taking P1 away from the kid. It almost does it there for a second, but the both of them just kind of keep going, and then into the long straight. But oh, C Burton's gaining on him big time. Kid's gonna let him pass. No dirty racing there, and that's what you like to see. Because C Burton takes P1. The kid's still hot on him for now, but I don't think for long. C Burton's got a lot of speed, and yep, there he goes. Let's hop back on down to Lucy, who's close to M15, and oh, that's a little dirty. Cam, maybe Cam cut in on him a little bit, I don't know. But that isn't what you want to see. You almost gave him a pit maneuver there. So, that might be reviewed by other people in the league and up in the higher ups, who knows. But hot on Lucy is Real Life Boy, so let's go take a look at him. But yeah, that was, that's not good. Not a good look for Lucy. And he, really pit maneuvers Cam 15 and takes him out of the race. And that's not what you want to see, really. Not enough to Wild Die. So not much going on, everybody kind of spaced out now. And, yeah, there's not really much battling going on. We're gonna hop on up to our leader, Seabert 91, and see what he's up to. Actually, let's go back down to Wild Die, because he's continuing to work on BFG and trying to get ahead of him. He might be gaining on him here in this long straight, I don't know. Nope, doesn't look like it. Looks like they're both just doing their thing, gaining some speed. Nothing major. Now, unless he can get a good turn, and that was a good braking by Wild Die. That was some good braking right there, but it wasn't enough to get him around BFG. So, Gunslinger hit the pit, so that's going to drop him down quite a bit. Wild Die still working on BFG, so we're going to stay watching him for now, because he's getting close. He's catching up. Lucy just hit the pits as well, probably has some front wing damage after that collision with Cam. Let's just stay on Wild Die for a moment and see if he can get into P3 there. He's been working on it for a while. No, he spins himself out right to a wall. And that's going to do it for his race, as his whole front left tire comes off. So now we have Cam M15 and Wild Die out. Cam, maybe a little bit of dirty racing by Lucy, and Wild Die just spun himself out, working a little too hard on BFG, and puts himself out of the race. So let's hop right back on up to our leader, C. Burton, and watch him for now as the safety car is out. So while the safety car is out, and everybody's kind of got a decent gap between them.
Alright, Aiden.
I'm pretty sure stream can hear you, though. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah, we're both streaming.
Yeah, I know, but are you spectating? Are you going to be like the co-announcer now, or what?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Alright.
Spun out and lost my tire.
Yeah, as long as Cole doesn't care, I don't care. I didn't know if he cared about you being in here or not.
No, he told me to join this. I said, well, might as well go spectate now and commentate.
Alrighty, well you can take over here for a second then.
Okay.
We have a co-announcer now. Welcome everybody to Wild Die. You just wipe out a little bit there and take himself out of the race, and he's going to be up here with me helping commentate.
Yep. Alright, so right at the moment there are no gaps in the field. Lucy is catching BFG very quickly there, or he's trying to, but yeah, there's no gap that's less than 2.9 seconds, or 2.8 at the moment, I guess. So I guess we'll just watch your leader, number 91 in the pink Mercedes, Cole Burton. Just watch him for now. There's the kid Zico in the Haas is behind him by about 2.7 seconds, heading into the second last corner. Yeah, the kid Zico is definitely gaining on Cole by quite a bit. I assume Cole will pit soon as he's still on softs, and so is the kid Zico. So, yeah. Yeah, the gap has went down to about 2.2 seconds now, in between 2.2 and 2.1. And yeah, there's no one else closer than that, so we're just gonna stick around here. And Reed Likes Boys is in the pit, and so is Gunslinger and BFG82. They all pit at the same time, but Cole and Zico still not. Anyway, let me see if I can get up. Can I get something on tire wear? Tire wear, or tires, there we go. Okay, so it appears that Lutzi is on the mediums, Relax Boys is on the mediums as well, and so is Gunslinger, and then going on the hards is BFG82, and DNF'd is me, your boy Wild-Eye9, and Cam M15. So, yeah, it was my first race actually driving without traction control, and I kind of figured that was gonna happen, because I've only been practicing for about a week now with it on, and, yeah, it's different.
Well, yeah, I happened to be in your TV pod as you were working on BFG there, trying to get into P3 at the time, and you just took a turn and spun yourself out, and you went right into the wall. It was a unfortunate
Yeah.
chain of events, as you were getting close, you were gaining on him,
Yeah, I would have
and then
passed him in the next few laps.
you just went down, and sad sight to see, and then you joined me up here to talk. So yeah, we were watching you, and sure there were some people at home rooting for you, but
Oh yeah.
some things happen, and that was one of them, unfortunately for you.
Yep. And Cole Burton is going to pit for mediums now. So he's just exiting the pits, and so that will mean the kid Zico will take first place. As he's been on the softs for 7 laps now. And tire wear, the softs, they're much quicker than both other tires by over a second, 1.3 seconds, but they do wear fast.
So everybody, Wild-Eye9 here is one of the racers, so he knows quite a bit more about it than I do. So it's going to be good to have him up here for today's race, or for the rest of today's race, that is. So if I mess anything up, he's here to correct me, so you guys don't have to listen to me use the wrong terminology like in the last race.
You'll be just fine.
Slowly but surely, I'm catching on.
Yeah, considering that was only your first time, really, like... And Cole Burton will get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as he goes wide in sector... What was that? Yeah, it's in... Yeah, it was near the end of sector 2. He goes wide there, and now he goes way wide. He's out into the gravel pit. Oh no, he gets
Saves
loose
himself.
there. He does save it, though. And he will keep second place. Now, Lutzi Loco is definitely going to try to make up some time. He doesn't really... Well, okay, there it goes. Now it's going down.
It's a good thing he's a good driver, and also that there's a wide bit of extra lane there, because he would have been into a wall anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
That's not
And
something you see
now
every
the
day.
kid Zico will pit for hards, so he's going to try to go to the end of this race on the hards, because that was one of the predicted strategies that the game gave me. But I was going to go for a 2-stop, go on the softs, and then meet double mediums, because the hards are almost over 2 seconds slower than the softs.
So Reed Likes Boys just set a fastest lap with 134 at PWT Racing Point there. So he's got the fastest lap so far in the race. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, it's fine. I was pretty much done talking.
Well, C. Burton is our leader for the moment, and we're going to watch him as he goes through the big S turn there. And let's see if he takes that turn any better, and hopefully he does, and doesn't head off, take the scenic route like he did last time.
Yeah.
And everything looks to be okay this time. He doesn't go way off there. Not trying to enjoy the view. Wants to keep it in first place, and probably a good strategy.
Yeah, no one's even near each other. The smallest gap is 3.7 seconds, and that's Cole Burton and the kid Zico. So there's nothing. There's nothing to watch.
Well, we had a few battles there, and one of them ended up in a bit of a racing incident, and the other ended up in, I guess, another racing incident where you lost
I just spun
control.
out.
But that's what happens. You're learning something new. You're trying new things out. That'll happen to you.
Yeah, with no traction control, you definitely have more pace because you can just. But it's obviously a lot easier to spin out. Because that's the point. It helps you not spin out, but you lose a lot of speed. Yeah, now the biggest gap is 4 seconds, or the smallest gap is 4 seconds. Still, now they're almost all about. They're in between the 4 second mark, besides Reed Likes Boys and Gunslinger's gap, which is 7.5, 7.6, just around there.
Well, we don't have much to talk about, so I might as well just run through the positioning again. Seaburton 91 is in P1, and P2 is the kid. Behind him in third is Lucy. Then it's Reed Likes Boys. Behind him in fifth is Gunslinger, and in the sixth is PFG. And those are your only races for today, other than the two that aren't in it anymore, unfortunately. So let's head on back up to Seaburton 91, because like Wild Die has been saying here, there's not really a whole lot to watch. In lap 10 here of round 4 of the Sheesh Racing League in China, Shanghai. You can always go down to the track and listen to the cars. What do you think, Wild Die?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, let's do that, because they're not giving us much competition, not giving us much to watch here, so we'll give you guys something to listen to. That isn't their voices.
I'm just gonna go on board with the kid Zico.
By the way, everybody, while you're listening to the cars, I'm Aiden Potty alongside Wild Die 9, so you are watching my point of view. So any changes in what you're seeing in camera angles, that is me controlling it. So there are going to be times where you might hear Wild Die commenting on a certain racer that I'm not watching. I will try to switch to them more often than not, but you are watching my point of view, so if there's ever a time that he's saying something about what I'm not watching, that's why. And you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because there may be some things that he might not catch that I can catch and you guys will see, and there may be things that I miss, and even if you guys don't see it, he can at least catch it to commentate on for you. So, never a bad thing to have two guys.
And also, guys, if you want, you can go check out the stream. I'm live streaming as well on Millin Bros YouTube channel, so you can go check that out if you really want to have two perspectives on that. But it's mainly just to have, I don't know, like footage to put in the race, like for highlights, even though there's not going to be many for me today, considering I crashed on my floor.
So, as you can see, Seaburton 91 is still leading. This is just heading into Sector 2, into the S-turn. Still maintaining that first position here in lap 12. Now, I was going to say something. I had a reason to come back on the mic, and I'm kind of lost my train of thought. So, I'll just remind you that if you ever want to check out the standings, or the rules, or anything to do with the Sheesh Racing League, you can always head on over to SheeshRacingLeague.com, which has everything you need to know and more about the Sheesh Racing League. So, Wild Eye, you probably know how the point system works better than I do. So what are
Mhm.
some potential outcomes of today's race depending on where people finish? Is there
Well,
any way that anybody can take the lead? I'm sure if Gunslinger, so Gunslinger's right now has 46 points. He's 1 point behind Cam, and obviously Cam being out of the race. Where would Gunslinger have to finish to take the league in the standings from Cam?
well, Cam 15 is definitely not going to keep his number one position as he did crash out, and he is in if as he won't get any points from DNFing, even though he finished 8th, and I won't get any points either, finishing 7th. So here, I'm just gonna go over to the website now, and
So once
look
again,
at the
Wild Eye is
standing.
the racer. He has a little bit better of an understanding about everything, and so I'll get him to run through the point system for you guys so he can explain it a bit. I already rhymed off who's in the lead and how many points they have, but I'm not well versed in what, like, in where you finish, how many points you get for it. So he knows all that, so he's gonna run through it for you, which I'm sure you guys will appreciate.
Alright, at the moment, Cam M15 has 47 points. He is still in the lead. Well, he will not be in the lead after this race. And at the moment, I'd say Cole Burton, he will take the lead in the standings as you get 25 points when you finish first, and that is 26 if you get the fastest lap. And then, it really just depends on who finishes, like, ahead of who between Reed Likes Boys and Gunslinger. But one position might, it just depends on where they finish, because they're both only 2 points. Or wait, no. Wait, yes, that's Gunslinger and Reed Likes Boys. They're 2 points away from each other, so really any of the people that could take first place are Gunslinger, Reed Likes Boys, and C. Burton 91. And then there's a huge drop off to Slim Omnivore 53 and the McLaren at 19 points. Lutzi at 17, myself at 14, Zico at 10. So this looking like a great race for him because he will get quite a few points. He'll pass me in the standings. And BFG, he may pass me, it just depends. Like where he finishes. So he'll get probably where he is. I think he'll get 8 points. Yeah, he'll get 8 points from where he is right now. So that would put him at 16 points. And Dunker, Gerbs, Trex, or July, or Julie, whatever their name is, has not showed up to today's race. So yeah, that's pretty much a rundown on your standings. So yeah, the lead of the Drivers' Championship is definitely up for grabs in today's race. Let's see, no, I don't think anything else has happened. If anything, the gaps have just gotten wider. It is 5 seconds between Cole and Zico. Between Lutzi and Zico is 4, and it's 5, 9, 8. So no one's close to anybody right now. Nothing interesting to watch. And we're just past halfway through this race. We're on lap 15 out of 28. And Cole, he does need to stay at least 3 seconds ahead of Zico to finish in first place if the race were to end at this moment. Because he does have that 3-second time penalty. I don't know if I can go and check the race director. Wait, oh, I can. Okay, let's see what's happened here. Incidents, oh, there's been a lot. Okay. But C. Burton is the only driver with a time penalty, and it is 3 seconds. But there are quite a few warnings, and Gunslinger got a drive-through, and so did BFG. I'm not sure why they did. Speeding under VSC, oh, it says right there, the incident. Okay, so BFG sped under VSC, and so did Gunslinger. So yeah, BFG, when he was right ahead of me during the VSC, he was, and yeah, he did speed up quite a bit, but I didn't think it would give him a penalty. So, yeah, okay, the closest gap, I'll go watch. Give us a better camera angle, we'll just go on board with Lutzi Loco as he is trying to hunt down Zico as he's only 3.6 seconds behind him as he's on mediums and Zico is on hards. And Zico's probably just trying to let his tires go as long as possible, hopefully for him to the end of the race. And Lucy will go into the grass there for some reason. That probably slowed him down a bit, but still 3.4 seconds is the gap between Lucy and Zico.
Well, let's take a look at the team standings and how they're doing. So, team-wise, in first is BWT Racing Point with 87 points. That team is Seabird 91 alongside Reed Likes Boys. The second team is Red Bull Racing, consisting of Cam M15 and Dunker with 53 points, and 47 of those 53 belong to Cam M15. In third with the AlphaTauri is Gunslinger, 46 points, and he's all alone. So he's got all 46 of his team's points, and he's keeping AlphaTauri in third. Behind him, in four is a Mercedes racing team with 25 points, and that consists of Lucy and BFG. Then fifth is the McLaren team, consisting of only Slim Omnivore, 19 points there. Then in sixth is the Haas F1 team, 14 points, which consists of the kid Zico, who is in today's race and currently in P2, and Gerbs. And then tied with the Haas F1 team is the Williams team, which is consisting of Wild Die 9, who is the co-commentator right now, and Sumu Jr. And they have 14 points, which all of those 14 belong to Wild Die. And then the only one behind them is the Ferrari team, consisting of T-Rex and July, who has 0 points at the moment.
And Reed Likes Boys is going to pass Lutzi Loco, as Lutzi will take a pit stop, and he'll go in another set of mediums, as he was on those mediums for 10 laps. If I were him, I probably would have stayed on those for probably, well, maybe one more lap, because then it'll be an equal amount of time on both sets of mediums. But soft medium seems like a pretty good strategy. But we'll have to see when we get to the later stages of the race if Zico will be in first, because Cole Burton will have to pit at some point, and Zico probably will not, probably won't pit again. So he definitely has a great chance of taking home the win today.
Well, during last week's race, I was talking about three key racers, which is Seabird 91, Reed Likes Boys, and Gunslinger, and I kind of went in depth into Seabird 91's racing and his style. So this time, I think, while there's not a whole lot going on, I'm going to take a look at Reed Likes Boys, who is Seaburton's teammate with BWT Racing Point, and maybe analyze his racing a bit. He's a good racer. He kind of keeps it clean every now and then. I wouldn't even say he gets carried away. He just kind of makes a mistake. But, I mean, all racers do, really. It's not that big of a deal. So, he's actually pretty consistent, I'd say. He usually finishes in the top three. Usually makes a podium, which is always good. And keeps his team up there as well. Obviously, Seaburton is a huge help to that, too. But these two guys are very good. Being on the same team is definitely the reason for their team being so far ahead in the standings. And I don't really have a whole lot to say about Reed, because he is just kind of a consistent racer. He just doesn't have too many wins per se under his belt, but he always races well. He always finds himself on the podium. The one thing I can say that I know for sure is that Reed Likes Boys and Seaburton have a lot of communication. They communicate well, and that definitely helps as to why they're as good as they are team-wise, is they communicate a lot. They communicate about everything. They're always talking, and oftentimes, if you're ever listening in on them, you can hear them deciding on when they want to take a pit, when it'll benefit their teammate, and they just got really good communication on when to do certain things and why you do them, where to take a pit, what to take the pit for, what tires to put on at the right times, and that's a key component to them being as good as they are, both as a team and individually. And that's not to say that any of these other guys don't have good communication, because I honestly don't know. But I mean, a lot of these guys are flying solo. The kid Zico and Gunslinger are both flying solo for today, so I know obviously they don't have much communication. They don't have any communication with a teammate. Just would be whoever's in their ear for the race telling them what to do, maybe their team. But as far as an actual teammate, another racer, they don't have any communication there. They don't have anybody helping them out. And then Lucy and BFG are on the same team, and like I said, I can't say that they don't communicate because I truly don't know. But I do know for a fact that Breed Likes Boys and Seaburton are good to keep in touch. So, as everybody looks spaced out, I'm just going to head into the TV pod. I'm already in there. I like to head into the TV pod in that long straight anyway. But I'll leave you in there, and you can listen to the car. Unless Wild Die, if you have anything to add, go right ahead. But for now, I'm
yes, I can definitely vouch for what Aiden had to say with Cole Burton and Reed Likes Boys communicating a lot, as I'm normally in their party as well. I join and tag along with them. We're not part of the same team, but it's almost like I'm the third driver. Obviously, I'm not as good as them, but I do have I have less experience than them, as they both played. I believe they both played F1 2019. I just got the game. F1 2020 was the first F1 game I played this year, but yes, they do communicate quite a bit. And they're probably... I'm not sure about many of the other teams, but they definitely are the team that communicates the most. They always practice together pretty much every day. And they have a lot of determination to win the Constructors title. And now, Reed Likes Boys, you can see there, we're going to go back to the race, and he has pit. And now he is in a battle with BFG 82. You can head on over to that as well, Aiden. And it seems as though Cameron is going to pass BFG for 5th place, as BFG is on old tires and Cameron is on brand new soft, so he is going to pull away from him quickly. And now Lucy Loco is also gaining on Gunslinger, so I'm going to head over to that now, as Reed Likes Boys is just going to pull away from BFG. He's already a second, 1.3 seconds. And who's pitting now? That's Cole Burton. He's going to go into the pits. And he is going to be passed by Zico, but he will stay ahead of Gunslinger as long as his team gives him a great pit stop.
So I did catch that small battle between BFG and Reed. Couldn't quite find a good camera angle. I was in the TV pod and it wasn't giving me a great view, so I couldn't quite see. Reed was kind of right beside BFG. But regardless, I did catch it. Thank you for that, Wild Die. I was kind of looking there. It's kind of paying attention, but you definitely helped me to switch over in time, so I appreciate that. And now everybody's kind of back to a big gap, and then I'll let you continue on with what you were saying.
And now Gunslinger's also going to pit, and he's going to be passed by BFG and Reed Likes Boys. So, I was looking... Gunslinger is looking like he was definitely going to get past there, and he will go on soft. So I don't know if those are gonna... Well, there's about 7 laps left, so they should last till the end of the race. So we have 3 new drivers on softs. That is Cole Burton, Reed Likes Boys, and Gunslinger. And in the lead we have the Kids Eco on 11 lap old hard tires. And Cole Burton's definitely going to look to close the gap as quickly as possible, and even if he does pass him, he has to get another 3 seconds ahead of him. So it's not looking good for Cole Burton to get the win of this race, but it is looking good for him to get a podium, as everyone has made their final pit stops, I believe, unless there's a crash.
Did BFG yet, though? Because Reed had just came out of his when him and BFG got in the battle. But I don't know if BFG has hit his pit or not. I don't know. I don't recall.
Yeah. He's on hard tires though, so one of the strategies was to go on softs at the very beginning for about 7 laps, and then switch over to hard tires. So I believe he'll stay on those for the rest of the
Ah,
race. Same with the kid Zico, and that's why he's in first place. And Lutzi Loco is going to get the fastest lap of the race with a 1:34.5 on the dot. And then Reed Lake's Boys will take it with 1:33.46. That is a big gap in lap time, but yeah, their softs are hopefully going to pay off for all of them, as Cole Burton is already 12 seconds behind Zico, and he was 14 only earlier this lap. So,
well, that's the thing with those hard tires is they last a while, but they don't give you a whole lot of speed.
no.
Especially once they start to get old like that, it slows you down even more, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah, they're quite slow, but yes, they do last long, so that's good for them. It's really the only benefit of them is that they last quite a while. They have way less grip, which makes them slower.
Well, we've been doing a whole lot of talking, and I don't think either of us have much more to say at the moment. So I'm gonna head down to the TV pod of the kid who's in first and watch him for a little while, and I'll come back to you guys in maybe a lap, depends on what happens in the meantime. While I can let him take the mic, or if he doesn't have anything to say as well, then you guys will just get some car sound for a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say I'm just gonna keep watching on board with Cole Burton here. So, yeah, and probably the next lap or two, if anything happens, then I'll definitely let you know.
Well, I did say I was gonna come back in a lap, and just before I say anything, Seabird 91 just hit the fastest lap time with 1:33.48 or 4:58 rather. So he's got the fastest lap time, and he's still gaining on the kid. Only 4 laps to go, though. He's got to gain quick. And Relax Boys with the BWT Racing Point just picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So now both of the BWT Racing Point racers have their 3-second time penalty for the same reason. Anyway, what I was saying is I told you guys I was going to come back in a lap. So I do, still in here with the kid with 4 laps to go. Still big gaps between everybody. The smallest gap is between Gunslinger and BFG, and that's a 4-second one. So I'll just stay on board with the kid for a little while and just talk about what's going on, I guess. So, Wild Die, where is the next race taking place? Just so the people at home can know, so I can know for when it comes time to sign off.
I'm trying to think of that. I have to check.
Always on Saturday, I know that.
Yeah.
Our
It'll be on Saturday,
races are
same
always
time.
on Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Atlantic time. And I guess I'll probably just say 8:30 Eastern time, because that's probably what more of you are familiar with. So Saturday at 8:30 Eastern is when you can find us racing. And you will always find us, or you always find me at least, here live on the Sheesh Racing League YouTube channel. And I know many of our racers live stream themselves personally. If you're looking for a broadcast, you can always find it here. on the Sheesh Racing League YouTube. So it looks like if we take a look at the back of the pack, Gunslinger seems to be gaining on BFG quite a bit, and if he keeps getting closer, I'll switch on back to him and watch them battle for a little bit, as there isn't much else to watch. Seaburton is slowly gaining on the kid, but he needs to either pick up the pace or the kid has to make a few mistakes or whatnot. There's only 3 laps left to go, and I know that the kid is on hard tires and old ones, I think maybe 13 or 14 old tires and hards at that, and Seaburton is on fairly new soft tires, I think maybe 4 laps old, I'm not quite sure, but there's some time to be made up there between Seaburton and the kid if Seaburton wants to take that 1 spot back that he had earlier in the race.
So yes, I just found out that... Oh, sorry.
Nope, no worries about nothing important.
Okay, so the next race, I believe, is at Spain, so it'll be the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona, and then after that, I believe it's Azerbaijan, and then Monaco, and then I think it goes to the Canadian Grand Prix and then the French Grand Prix, so at least that's what I believe it is, because I'm pretty sure that Azerbaijan and Monaco are right, like, near each other in the schedule, so it must be Spain up next. So it's either Spain or Azerbaijan.
Well, thank you for that. I'm right down the TV pot of Gunslinger at the moment, who is only 0.6 seconds behind BFG. BFG is racing on some old hard tires, and Gunslinger is on soft tires. I'm not sure how old his are. I don't think they're very new either, but they're still soft, so they still got some better speed than the hards do, so I'm going to stay in his TV pot for a second, as he's working on getting that 5th spot from BFG, with only 2 laps left to go. Here in the streets of Shanghai, China, around 4 of the Sheesh Racing League, and trying to pass him on the outside, does, but BFG comes right back on the inside and keeps that P5, at least for now. And a little bit of a battle there, and still going. This Gunslinger is really trying to get into 5th. And BFG is really trying to keep him out of 5th. And he wants that position for himself. So we'll see what happens as things develop here. And they're just coming up to that turn before the long straight, which, if Gunslinger's lucky, he may be able to pass BFG on the long straight, being that he's on soft tires, but it depends. And if anything, actually, it seems like BFG is maybe gaining slightly on Gunslinger. So Gunslinger must be on some fairly old soft tires if he can't catch up in a spot like that.
He did get DRS, but it didn't really help him, because he messed up the exit of the corner before. But yeah, Gunslinger should definitely be able to catch BFG, considering Gunslinger's tire's only 5 laps old, and BFG's are 19 laps old. So there's no reason that you shouldn't pass him, hopefully, this or next lap.
Getting very close right there, and this is the same spot that he passed him the first time. It was coming right up to this turn on the right that he had passed him, that Gunslinger passed BFG before. And he's trying to do it again, and it's getting close. BFG is taking his turns well, but so is Gunslinger. But I think BFG is doing it well enough to keep Gunslinger off his back for now. Gunslinger's not letting up. He wants that 5th spot. So I'm going to continue to watch him as there's someone coming up to that long straight again. Ooh, BFG goes wide and goes off the track. So that slows him down a bit, giving Gunslinger even more time to catch up. They're also, again, coming into the long straight. And he's gonna try, but not well enough. He's trying to pass him on the inside, couldn't do it. And I think he might be able to get his DRS here. He should be able to, and he does. And this time it's helping him gain some speed, and he's really gaining on BFG. BFG's holding him off, and I think right there was his chance. I think if Gunslinger would have tried to go for the inside, if he would have tried to pass him on the inside, I think it would
Gunslinger,
have been
3-second time penalty. Sorry to cut you off, Aiden, but
no
Gunslinger
worries.
just ruined his chance
Yeah,
of
that really
passing
does it.
him.
And he passes him. No, he doesn't. He still can't pass him. But if he does pass him here, with only one lap, he has to pass him and get 3 full seconds ahead of him to even stay in fifth. So he's a lost cause now. He kind of ruined his chance.
Yeah.
Well, stay
Seems
watching
as though
him
he
for
will pass him
now.
now. Or
And
not.
now again, it's the same spot as before where he tried to pass him on the outside, and he just can't get it done. So let's take a look. I'm gonna just go back up to the kid Zico, who's coming up to that hairpin. Seabird never could catch up to him enough. So he's gonna be the winner for today's race, unless something drastic happens here in this final turn, which I don't anticipate it happening. So they come up
And
to the
it will
checkered
not.
flag. Yep, they come up to the checkered flag. The kid Zico takes first. Seaburton's gonna take second. And I believe Lucy is going to take third, and that'll be your podium for today's race. And he does. So, your podium for today, in first place is the kid, second is Seaburton 91, and third is Lucy. Everybody else is going to fall in behind them. Reed Lakes Boys is going to come in fourth. And being that Gunslinger has a 3-second time penalty, even if he does see, which he doesn't manage to pass him regardless, BFG comes fifth, Gunslinger comes sixth, and those are your 6 races for today, besides the 2 that went out. So, the driver of the day is BFG 82, and I can kind of see why. He did a good job of holding Gunslinger off in those final moments. But that is going to do it for round 4 of the Sheesh Racing League here in Shanghai, China. You can see our podium here. There's the kid celebrating in the Haas suit, and then behind him in the BWT Racing Point suit is Seaburton 91. So
Man, I'm telling you,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in once again for the Sheesh Racing League. We'll see you next Saturday at 8:30 Eastern Time for the race in Spain, according to Wild Die, if that's correct.
Netherlands.
Netherlands?
Oh, it's in the Netherlands? Okay.
So it's in the Netherlands. Apologies
Kai,
for
why are you
that.
saying Spain? Spain's in
So we'll
like
see
4
you in the
weeks.
Netherlands next Saturday at 8:30 Eastern. Thank you, everybody. So, I'm Aiden Potty, and I was alongside Wild Die 9. Have a good night.